Traitorous Republicans in the United States House of Representatives voted with Nancy Pelosi and the communist Democrats to pass red flag gun confiscation through the United States House. It's outrageous. I hope y'all have been keeping up with us this week, guys. We are back in our offices. We were on Capitol Hill all week. We are going to give you all the details about the major showdown gun control battle that happened in Congress this week, guys, where the battle is going and what we need y'all to do to help us stop it. Because they are right on my brain right now, I am going to name these 5 Republicans. Actually, I may let Aaron do it. If Aaron has the list, I can have you do it as well. But first, let us know where you're watching from, guys.
Sound
let us
off,
know where you're
folks.
watching from.
Sound
off. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Comment in the comment section, guys. We're in Washington, D.C. all week fighting the gun grabbers. The first comment from Rodney says, all 5 need to go. There's Annapolis, Maryland, International Falls, Minnesota. Man, it's going too fast. I can't even read them. Latham, Ohio. If you're an AFA member, let us know as well.
Come on in,
Aaron,
guys. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in. Aaron, get right to it, my friend. Get right to it. Who are these 5 traitorous Republicans who voted for Nancy Pelosi's gun control agenda?
Yeah, it's the worst of the worst in Washington, D.C. I'll jump right into it. Fred Upton from Michigan, Adam Kinzinger from Illinois, Anthony Gonzalez from Ohio, Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania, and that scoundrel Chris Jacobs from New York State. All 5 of them jumped into bed with Nancy Pelosi and voted to make it easy to have Americans disarmed, having never been convicted in court. And they love to say we've got due process in here. As we heard yesterday from Louis Gohmert, there's no due process in this bill. There's nothing that protects your 4th Amendment rights, 5th Amendment rights, 6th Amendment rights. The hell with our 2nd Amendment rights. You can be disarmed based on the say-so of someone who doesn't like you in a secret court hearing that you can't attend before you've ever been convicted in court of anything. It is the absolute anathema of due process. It is a disgusting bill, and these 5 Republicans made it happen earlier today in the United States House.
I'm thinking back to some of these fake news reporters who were attacking us this week, Aaron. We had the Huffington Post. We had Vice. We had all Mediaite, Raw Story. All the fake news reporters were attacking the American Firearms Association. But guess what? And we also had people attacking us 3 or 4 weeks ago when we were saying, be ready for kamikaze-style gun control. The Democrats know they're getting slaughtered in November, and so they're going to go for it. They got the shooting that they wanted and they needed in Texas, and they went for the kill. They showed us exactly who they were on the floor of the House this week, and we were right. Now, we met with numerous legislative allies in the Congress, talk to people on the Senate side, guys. We're going to tell you where this fight is going soon. If you're just now joining us, check in. Let us know where you're watching from. If you did not yet have a chance this week to join up as a member of the American Firearms Association, join up now at joinafa.org. $35 a year, less than 10 cents a day. Get it going and join up tonight, guys. But we met with a number of our legislative allies who are really heroes, okay? And we've got Louis Gohmert. We got Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've got Congressman Biggs and Paul Gosar, right. Massey was great on the floor. Chip Roy was great on the floor, fighting back against these gun grabbers. And universally, these members of Congress told us, guys, we're hearing your calls. We're hearing your emails. We're hearing your petitions. But we've got to fight that fight on the Senate side, Aaron. And I know we have a lot of intel on the Senate side. We've got sources over there telling us. You got Lindsey Graham and John Cornyn. What is the potential deal over there that could happen that we need to stop on red flags?
Well, there's absolutely a deal being hatched right now. Again, we were there all week in D.C. There's a deal being hatched between Republican rhino backstabbers and Chris Murphy in the Senate, and it's all about some form of red flag gun seizure law. There's lots of questions as to what that will look like. Will it be what passed today? In the House, a straight-up red flag, national red flag law? Will it be some form of a funding bill that bribes the states into passing red flag laws? That part is not known yet by anybody. That's all part of the negotiation, frankly. But, guys, that is what's happening right now in the Senate. And, Patrick, we were there yesterday when Matt Gaetz went to war on the floor, gave the best speech I've heard all week, frankly, all year, opposing red flag laws. What we haven't heard yet, and if you guys have seen this, please let us know. I'm going to answer that comment right there, Jimmy Melton. You just stand by. I'll get back to you in a few minutes, because if you think that what passed in the House today will never pass the Senate, you're not hearing what's going on. We were there all week. Listen, what happened today in the House, that version, that will probably not pass in current form in the Senate. That's not the question. The question is, what negotiated version of red flag laws will pass? That is the issue. And again, getting back to Matt Gaetz, he was dropping bombs on the floor. But what we haven't heard, and if anybody else has heard this, we have not heard any Republicans in the Senate yet today come out and drop bombs in a press conference, in a press release, an email, at an event back in their district. We've heard no Senate Republicans, not one of 50, come out and say, hell no, there is no form of red flag laws that I will ever vote for, because there's no conviction required. And that is the problem. We have 50 Senate Republicans, and none of them are saying we will fight back no matter what to stop gun control. None of them.
I am sick and tired of hearing these senators. I'm sick and tired of hearing these Republican senators say, people where I live, they have varmint and coyotes that they need to shoot. We know that. But guess what? That is not what the Second Amendment is all about.
No.
We know. And Matt Gaetz said on the floor of the House today, and yesterday, I believe, the Second Amendment is not about hunting. How many times do we have to say it? The Second Amendment is about protecting ourselves, our families, our country, our God-given rights from tyrants, foreign and domestic. Period. Right. If you can't say that, you don't need to be defending our rights. You don't need to be in the Congress, and you don't need to be in the Senate. Period.
Exactly.
Now, those of y'all who have joined up, guys, this week, we want to do a little roll call here in a few minutes. So come on in, hop in on board, and join up at joinafa.org, guys. Get in on the fight. Here in just a couple minutes. First of all, I'm going to have Aaron name off some of these Republican senators we need to be hammering at stopredflags.com. But we're going to read off a bunch of the new members here in a few minutes, guys. Aaron, do you have some of those senators ready who we need to start pressuring? Because I know a lot of our members live in the states where they're going to have to pressure these guys. So name off some names.
The short version, unfortunately, right now is if your senator is a Republican, he needs to hear from you no matter what. That is number one. People are asking, what about Rand Paul? What about Ted Cruz? I want to be clear on this. There hasn't been a debate on the floor yet on red flag laws. So they haven't had a floor chance. My point is they're not on Facebook condemning this. They're not on Twitter condemning this. They're not doing press conferences or press statements condemning this. It's not happening. So they all need to hear from you. But in particular, John Cornyn, Texas, he's the worst of the worst. He is the guy who is making this negotiation happen right now with Chris Murphy in the Senate. He's number one. Tom Tillis is aiding them in this fight, needs to hear from gun owners in North Carolina. Susan Collins from Maine is part of this. Mitt Romney from Utah is a part of this. You've got Roy Blunt in Missouri right now, who is openly saying, I'm okay with some form of this legislation. And I can't believe it. Actually, I can. But if you're watching right now in Wyoming, you know that Cynthia Lummis is out there saying, I am okay with some form of red flag gun seizure law. So everybody right now in that conference needs to hear from you. But those 5 or 6 names in particular are the folks who are actively either giving in to the radical left or making this deal happen with negotiations right now in D.C.
Yeah, I mean, I was writing some notes there, Aaron, and I was listening to much of what you said. I was looking at some of the new members come in here as well. But, I mean, you're talking about little Marco Rubio. I mean, we're talking about as many as 24 Republicans in the Senate could go bad.
Yeah.
Little Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, Lindsey Graham, Tom Tillis, Rob Portman, Pat Toomey. I mean, just 25. That is a lot. Okay. It's the weekend, or tomorrow's Friday, and we've got the weekend. Hammer, 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 hammer. I don't care if you've already sent. I don't care if you've already sent your messages at stopredflags.com. Do it again. Hammer your senators and get in there tonight, guys. And just make it happen. I mean, the only way, and we said this in our email, and I know we were live earlier today and gave you a lot of this information as well, guys, but we said this in our email. The only way we're going to stop these guys is overwhelming public pressure. Period. Game over. End of story. That's you. That's me. That's activists all around you guys. And that's it. I mean, like, if we go silent, they win. This weekend, you got the March for Our Lives, Dopey David Hogg in Washington, D.C. Mitt Romney's another one, says Brad. I think maybe you said him too, Aaron.
I did.
Know,
oh, yeah.
You did. Guys, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about the 5 Republicans in the House who voted for red flag gun confiscation. Benjamin just joined. I saw your name come in there. Benjamin just joined as a member of the American Firearms Association. Let us know where you're watching from. JoinAFA.org. JoinAFA.org, guys. Hop on board and get in the fight. There's Becky from Alexandria, Pennsylvania is in. Thank you, Becky, for joining and contributing. There's Benjamin from Hibbing, Minnesota. Benjamin from Hibbing, Minnesota is in at the $125 level. Thank you, Benjamin. There's Raymond from Ashtabula, Ohio. Ashtabula, Ohio. There's Raymond is in. JoinAFA.org. There's Brent. Brent is in from New Washington, Ohio, as a member of the American Firearms Association. There's Donovan in Stuart, Florida, all over the country coming in tonight, guys, as members of AFA. There's Ross from Lexington, South Carolina, is in as a new member at the $75 level. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that, my friend. There is Chad from Foxborough, Wisconsin, is in as well. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it, guys. Thomas also donated. I think that's Becky's husband. It sounds like, believe it or not, from Alexandria, Pennsylvania, guys. We love having y'all on board. We love fighting alongside y'all, and that is exactly what we did in Washington, D.C. this week, guys. Pound, pound, pound. Hammer these guys. At the end of the day, it is horrific news that these Republicans voted. Absolutely. Voted for red flags. 4 of them are not coming back. That's Chris Jacobs from New York. That is Upton from Michigan. That's Gonzalez from Ohio. Kinzinger from Illinois. And this guy, is it Fitzpatrick? Excuse me, from Pennsylvania. He's just horrific. And I don't know why nobody can't take him out.
The worst.
Something's going on there that's just bad. Now, because of your pressure, we kept that number down in the Senate or in the House. We kept it down.
You just took my line, man.
Yeah, do it, Aaron. Sorry, do it.
That's what I was going to say. We're seeing some of the comments. People are saying there's no chance we can stop it. This is the beginning of the end. Folks, that is not true. There was a lot of people who expected 24, maybe even more than that, House Republicans to cave in. And I got to be honest, that would have happened had they not been hammered on by AFA members. NRA didn't do a damn thing except for one email on this entire fight. It's been building for 3 weeks. They did nothing because they don't give a damn about red flag gun seizures. This has been brewing for weeks. They did nothing. So everyone in DC we talked to said, man, we're going to see dozens. We're going to see dozens doing this. And we always said, well, you know, if nobody acts, maybe, but AFA members went to war against this bill. And guys, I'm not happy the bill passed. No question about that. But the fact that only 5 turncoat traitors voted for it, 4 of whom are on their way out of office, that shows the power of gun owners across America who came together and said to the Republican Party, if you screw us on this, we will screw with you in your primaries. And that has been pounding through that Capitol building for the last couple of days. We heard it from all the staff we spoke with, Patrick, for the last couple of days. Yeah. And so take heart, folks. You are having a massive impact in Washington, D.C. That's why HuffPo is attacking you guys, AFA members. That's why Politico attacking you guys. Man, This is happening right now. So we can keep this pressure on the Senate. And if we do that right, if that pressure maintains in that chamber, we can shut this down. We can defeat these guys. We have to keep the pressure on, though, 100 miles an hour.
That's right. And where do we go from here? I think, that's what people ask us all the time. Guys, you're fighting like hell up there. We get it. Pelosi controls the House. She has bigger majorities in the House than Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have in the Senate. They have no majority in the Senate other than Kamala Harris is the 51st vote. Aaron explained we need 60, or they need 60. Okay, so where do we go from here? So the Senate is out. It sounds like they're doing virtual negotiations tomorrow. Then back next week, we will be back on Capitol Hill, combing the halls of the Capitol. Next week in Washington, talking to our legislative allies, working the Senate side as well. That is when, not now as well, but next week, you're going to see us launch our full-on assault on the United States Senate, all across the Senate, guys, all across the country. I'm talking tens and tens and tens of thousands of emails, petitions, calls. Get ready for that battle. If you're ready for it now, get in it, okay? But look, we know we emailed y'all a lot this week. We texted y'all a lot this week, and y'all understand because there is a big, fat battle, and there's a lot going on. I mean, we can only tell you so much in one email that we have to keep you updated throughout the day about what is going on, and you're going to see us do that next week. With the same intensity. And when we hear that something is happening, we're going to give it to you again and ask you to take action again. We're going to update the petition. It's going to be a brand new petition. So if you've already signed, go ahead and go over to stopredflags.com and do it again tonight. And we're going to have an even fresher one here soon as well, guys. But we cannot say enough. And I heard Ben talking about that today. We're running ads all over the internet and social media right now, mobilizing gun owners against gun control. That costs money. There's some losers come on here every now and then. They're like, what are you doing with the money? We're spending it to protect your rights. So when you join up, for example, if you feel moved to join up tonight with the American Firearms Association, your money is going into this fight. Period. Game over. End of story, guys. So join up tonight at the $35 level, $75, $125. Usually every show we have a new life member come in, guys. So go ahead and join. Aaron flashed it up earlier at joinafa.org and get in the fight. Aaron, I'm going to check on some of these new members. Why don't you give it a little wrap up and I'll read some of the names, do a little roll call before the show's over here tonight.
You've got a lot of questions on timing. What's the timing on this? When's it going to be voted on in the Senate chamber? Folks, again, we don't know. There's a scenario here. This might drag out for several weeks because, again, the pressure they're getting from you guys, the emails and the calls, that is scaring Senate Republican staff right now.
Yes.
They're hoping the Democrats, the rhinos, were hoping that they were getting 9 emails out of 10 would be in support of gun control. That is not happening. They're being hammered now by pro-gun members like you all across America. So now we have a very there's a slowing effect happening right now in Washington, D.C. So we don't know exactly when this vote's going to take place. And frankly, the longer it takes, the better it is for us. The more time we have to mobilize patriots all across America to call, email, Facebook them, hit them on Twitter, and make your voice heard. So as far as timing, we don't know 100% right now when it's going to happen. We do know that midterms are coming. That's got kind of a dual effect. The Democrats, they're going kamikaze right now. They're going to crash and burn. They know it. They're almost convinced their majority is DOA. They're going all in on gun control. The Republicans, then, it has kind of the opposite impact. Some of them are up for re-election this fall, and they're scared as hell right now if they vote for any form of gun control that they might lose their seats in a vulnerable district, a vulnerable state, rather. So that is happening. It's kind of a dual dynamic right now in D.C. The answer, again, is to hammer on these people and make your voice heard. Don't give an inch. And this is not just a one. You're not done, folks. I hate to use this phrase. You're not released from your obligations to your freedom from doing one email. We are fighting for our grandkids here. We are fighting for generations that aren't even born here. One email is not sufficient. You have to email these people constantly. Call their office in D.C. constantly. Call their local offices constantly. Hit them on Facebook constantly. Don't let up, because by God, the Democrats are not letting up. We were there in D.C. again today. Huge rally in the National Mall yesterday from Moms Demand Action. We had a huge mob today in front of the Supreme Court. I saw them when I was out there doing updates for our members. They are pushing right now physically in the building. They're pushing from the outside. The fake news media is all engaged in this fight. And so your one email, your one phone call is not sufficient. You've got to keep the pressure on every single day. The more pressure we put on, the lower the threat goes of this bill actually passing into law.
Aaron, how can we not? I mean, you said it about Supreme Court. They have giant concrete barriers on both ends of the street in between the Supreme Court and the Capitol and the Library of Congress and the Capitol. Yeah. Giant concrete barriers, guys. They're expecting it's the Roe versus Wade decision, and it's also the New York decision as well, Aaron. And Justice Kavanaugh. How many of y'all heard about Justice Kavanaugh?
Yes.
I mean, like, there's so much in the news, and I know it's the world we live in today. But this guy who wanted to kill Kavanaugh, he was mad about guns and he's mad about abortion. That's a radical communist Democrat. Man, if they lose this stuff, good gosh, look out, protect yourself, get the hell out of that city.
Hey,
I know
Patrick,
we
had this last night. We were right up front of the Capitol chambers on the grounds, cutting a video update for our members, and we were like almost attacked by an out of control leftist madman screaming at us, cursing at us.
Crazy.
Blank you and blank your guns. Almost got violent. I mean, this is for all the marbles. The radical left, they are demented, evil, bloodthirsty people. They stand for two things primarily: ripping apart unborn babies and disarming the American population. That is the two pillars of today's Democratic Party. That's it. Everything else comes into line after that. And we're standing here saying we will not let you guys take away our guns. And frankly, we're sick and tired, and we're beyond sick and tired of the abortion issue as well. We're killing unborn babies, but their goals are very simple: kill the unborn, disarm the born, so we can then control all of them as an all-powerful federal government. We say hell no to all of that, guys. Get involved in this fight today. It's joinafa.org. We have a graphic for you right here. They are going crazy in D.C. And again, I mean, you mentioned this, the barriers, Patrick, all the concrete barriers. Today, when I was out there, they were bringing them in on buses coming in all over the place. The whole downtown area is impossible to access for most people anyway. They just bus them in on Bloomberg-funded buses, and they have all the money. But we have the grassroots support, guys, so keep that pressure on. StopRedFlags.com.
Yeah, I'm going to read some of the new members. You guys are pouring in tonight. I know it's a busy night for a lot of y'all. It's probably beautiful where you are. But look, we're fighting the fight, and we appreciate all of y'all who are in here tonight fighting the fight. Let me read some of the new members. We got Tracy in Red Granite, Wisconsin is in as a new member of the American Firearms Association. We've got Gary from Crescent City, Florida is in at the $35 level. Sheila in Dillard, Georgia is in as a new member. David out west in Florence, Arizona. David, whose district are you in? We met with Congressman Gosar and Congressman Biggs today, this week from Arizona. There's Lewis in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Richard in Paquette Lakes, Minnesota. William at the $75 level from Garland, Texas. Thomas from Alexandria, Pennsylvania. Seth from Greenwood, New York. Guys, I'd love to get all 50 states tonight. If you hadn't heard your state on there, rip on in, guys. But yeah, I mean, if you join, guys, yes, you're going to get your membership t-shirt, your membership decal. You're going to get the instant email alerts. You're going to get your instant social media and Facebook alerts. You're going to get your instant text message alerts, which are also very effective, and also your monthly newsletter. I mean, and you're going to go to sleep at night knowing that you have grassroots activists like us. We come from the grassroots. It's why we're different. People ask all the time, why are you different from the other three other groups? Because we come from you. That's what we are trying to do, is protect this country and protect it from tyrants. We are like you. Join up at joinafa.org, guys. Get in the battle. Joe has signed up twice from Batavia, Ohio, guys. There's so much we could talk about. David Hogg had to apologize today. I don't know if you saw that, Aaron.
No, I did not.
He was going after little Marco. Of course, we're not too happy with little Marco either, but he blatantly lied on Twitter and said that little Marco's staff said that Marco was triggered by David Hogg. And he lied, and he had to delete his tweet, and then he publicly apologized. But guess what? You know, he can apologize. This guy's a liar. He is a bold-faced liar. And you know what else he is? He wants to eliminate our Second Amendment rights. He's been honest about that. And now he's like, I just want to have an honest conversation about where we agree and the things we agree on. We're not falling for that, Hogg. We are not falling for that. Doug is in at the $35 level. Thank you, Doug. Glad to have you on board.
We can tell you where we agree with. I mean, and this is the problem.
Yeah.
They're so used to having these deep conversations with the NRA. Where can we find agreement? Look, there's no agreement to be had between the darkness and light. Nothing between slavery and freedom. No agreement between people who love our country, love God, love our flag, and those who hate everything our nation stands for. That's where we're at these days. There is no agreement. There is no compromise to be had. There is no, quote unquote, common sense compromise that all sides can agree to. It's very simple. We arm teachers, we harden schools, we eliminate gun-free zones, repeal the damn gun-free zone school act of the 90s, and we get national reciprocity, and we arm this country against the violent psychopaths out there, many of whom are coming across our southern border every freaking day.
Yeah.
That's how we hold the line. There is no way to have a perfectly secure state unless you have and that's we're all in a prison planet situation.
North Korea.
We have to arm ourselves, arm our teachers, arm our janitors, arm people who want to be armed. And then from there, we have a chance to put these people down when these attacks happen. But as long as we have gun-free zones and people who are disarmed because of liberal policies in liberal states, liberal counties, liberal cities, we're going to keep seeing this anarchy take place. There's no agreement to be had. Their policies lead to death, enslavement, and tyranny. Our ideas lead to freedom and a free people having the right to fight back. There is no middle ground. And damn the NRA for always being there to try to find that middle ground and betraying our gun rights along the way. They are the ones responsible for where we're standing right now in America on our gun rights today.
Look, I've got feelers out all over Capitol Hill. Okay, I've got sources all over the place. I'm looking for that smoking gun. I want the email. I want the meeting. I want the picture of the NRA's lobbyists in the room with John Cornyn or Lindsey Graham. If you're out there and you're listening and you know something going on, then you let us know. You let us know, because these guys, I said it for 2 or 3 shows now, Wayne LaPierre has got his finger in the wind in the swamp. And let me tell you, it blows fast there sometimes.
Yeah,
the storms blow in the swamp. If you got that smoking gun, we want to see it. And when we see it, we're going to scream from the rooftops, because they are screwing us and they're screwing you. And imagine, the NRA, there's still hundreds of millions of dollars a year. If they put the full force of their money to stop, this wouldn't even be a conversation on Capitol Hill right now.
Let's ask it like this. We have hundreds, almost over 1,000 people watching right now from across the country. You guys are a huge audience. You tell us, how many of you have seen a digital ad in the last 2 weeks from NRA? I'm not talking about asking for your money. Those are everywhere. How many of you have seen a digital ad urging action to stop red flag laws? How many of you have seen a Facebook post urging action against red flag laws?
No.
Who has seen TV ads opposing red flag laws?
TV ads.
How many of you got emails urging action against red flag laws? They did one. We saw one 4 or 5 days ago. They did one. How many have seen anything? Have you seen anything from them, from their staff, doing videos, giving updates from their offices right outside of Virginia, of D.C. and Virginia?
D.C.
I've seen nothing.
Yeah,
because they've done nothing. That kind of budget, hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and you see nothing. This is the biggest attack on our gun rights that we've seen in generations. The biggest attack, at least since the 94 AW ban back under the era of Bill Clinton. And we have seen nothing from them. Shame on them for sitting there and taking everyone's money and then doing nothing during the fight of our lives, doing nothing.
Aaron, they've got a 50, 60, 70, $100 million building just outside of DC, and they have an office on Capitol Hill. You'd think that for 3 full days or 2.5 full days on Capitol Hill that we would have run into them. We were meeting with the most pro-gun members of Congress.
Yep.
We asked them, "You seen the NRA?" No. 3 years since I've seen them. Where are they? They're nowhere. And that's why organizations like ours, we don't have $250 million, but we are giving it everything we have, 100% funded by y'all, guys. I'm going to read a couple more new members here tonight. Join up at joinafa.org, joinafa.org. We've got Bernard in Longmont, Colorado is in. Clinton is in from Nampa, Idaho for at the $125 level. Thank you, Clinton, guys. We're going to wrap up here tonight. It's been a vicious week on Capitol Hill. The Democrats brought out the daggers, Pelosi's gun control agenda. We've been warning people about kamikaze gun control. It's here. It's in your face. Now, over in the Senate, big threats, maybe not everything that Pelosi passed, but we've got red flags on the table. We've got billions of dollars for mental health. We're all going to be called crazy.
Yep.
Okay. Mitt Romney today is saying he's for raising the age from 18 to 21 to buy a long gun or an AR-15. Okay. There's big threats out there, guys. We're heading into tomorrow. We're heading into the weekend. When you think about it, or even right now, pound away and get ready to go for the big fight next week. But join up tonight at joinafa.org. Guys, that's all I've got. Aaron, you want to close us out?
Yeah, guys,
we'll be right back at it tomorrow.
We know it's been a lot of emails, a lot of text, a lot of videos, but guys, this is the fight of our time right now. All I would say is, I know it's easy to get overwhelmed. So much information from us, so much from the fake news media. Don't get tired of this fight, guys. Keep the pressure on. Again, you're not fighting for your own AR-15. I know everyone watching right now has got a bunch of them. You're fighting for the future, for the freedom of your grandkids.
Freedom.
You get tired. Think about that. That generation is counting on you. Our grandparents fought for our freedoms. It's our turn to stand up on freedom's wall now and defend the rights of our grandkids. Don't get tired. Don't give up. Go stopredflags.com, guys. Then joinafa.org. We'll be back with more information tomorrow by email, probably by video. We'll keep you guys informed every step of the way. Share our content. You guys have a great night and stay dangerous.